They've crossed into Miami territory at the 39-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. It's caught outright, Amendola. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in the
and he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Jonathan Hankins in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. They go play action now. Ryan. And that is incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding. And McManus able to put it through, and the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So our initial drive this afternoon results in 3. Not sure that that's a statement necessarily, but getting points on the road, never a bad thing.
You're exactly right about that. I love how you framed it, right? Not sure it's a statement, but at the same time, you're putting something out there, aren't you? Letting them know, hey, we came to play today.
Fair catch called for and taken just inside the 10-yard line. Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. If you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Here's Tannehill, eluding the pressure right toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up 2nd down.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to LaShawn McCoy, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield and try to hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback who's going to his left.
Exactly.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down. They are going for it. It's Tannehill. He rifles one that's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, It's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school. I can do this. Until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, was the one disrupting there defensively.
It's not often that you get 19-year-olds that enter the NFL, but this guy is absolutely special. Tremaine Edmonds out of Virginia Tech, 6'4", 250-plus pounds, can run like a deer. We just saw his ability to flash and make plays.
His brother Terrell also taken in the first round. First set of brothers taken in the first round of the same draft in NFL history.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Ryan. He's got it at the 15. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. That one will go down as 33 yards on the third down conversion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Eddie Vanderdoes there on the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, no.
With the former Volunteer Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Titans with a football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. Here's Ryan to throw. Screen pass to Charles. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Now Ryan is caught at the 7-yard line. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Jared Cook, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Titans are going to add on to their lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you got to circle a guy around, and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football. And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You turn it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
And that play was vintage Derek Johnson. Made a play in the backfield. In college, he did as an outside linebacker. Used speed to get to the backfield. Now, a bulked-up inside linebacker with multiple Pro Bowls on his... resume.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Muhammad Wilkerson in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, not going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so they can throw the football.
Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a fourth down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet? And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. On second down, it's McCoy, and he'll power his way up near the 25. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when they clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle it. That's what you're looking for.
Offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
This is fielded at the 27. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And it'll be Titan football. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And Cook has it, left side. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 3rd and 1, Ryan. He finds his man, Baldwin. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now Ryan on first down. Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ryan. And his throw is incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And it's third down.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. To throw is Ryan. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And McManus able to put it through, and that'll push the lead up to 13-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And we take some time to spotlight T.Y. Hilton now. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even
under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Off play action, Tannehill looking deep for Hilton. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
20.
On first down, Tannehill into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nickel Roby-Coleman, and his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. They begin this drive with Chubb, and he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's Ryan Tannehill and the Dolphin offense back out onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter.
Holding offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. He was looking for Matthews that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tunnel that they can fall back on anymore.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
When everything is in sync on defense, that means everyone's communicating really well, and sometimes it's nonverbal. They just know that when a receiver's in one spot, this person may have him, and he's in another spot, the next defender may have him. And they've squeezed the passing lanes down to where it's so difficult to find an open area to deliver.
And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to... Out come the Titans now. They'll have it first on offense to start the 3rd. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
On 2nd down, Jamal Charles. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And he finds Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another 1st down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
11 more on that one and another 1st down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get, because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 1st down, Titans, gain of 12.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On 1st down, Ryan. This will be caught inside the 10. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
As the field starts to get condensed, the defense likes that a lot, because now you don't have as much space to cover, but a well-run corner route there.
Single receiver.
From the shotgun, Ryan. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Dontrell Inman from 8 yards out. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
They wanted, they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. And that one results in 35 yards. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
From the red zone now, Tannehill. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by George Iloka. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Back to the air, Ryan after the pick 6. And they're able to get this one across the 35. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. 23 yards on the play.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Back now in Miami. It's the Titans. They've got the football. They'll be looking to extend their lead here as we begin the fourth quarter. On second down, Ryan. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Titans. Doug. Baldwin, 33 yards. And the Titans are going to add on to their lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. They give him a gain of 38. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Nickel Roby-Coleman. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And off comes to Chubb. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Where Brandon Pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back at MAD-DEN-QUlT's, this is
in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. John Simon in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now it's Ryan. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory, like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Nikel Roby-Coleman. And that And, partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that